Hi guys, I am still here at school. It is still Monday, but I thought I would go ahead and do a video for you for section 4B so that you would be prepared and when we come back. So watch the video and tell me what you think, and then we'll go from there. We are starting with page 134 in your book, so you should have brought that home. If you did not, I'll have that up for you in just a moment, but I do want you to make sure that you have your book because you will be answering some questions regarding what we're going over. So today we're going to be going over regular IR verbs. And one of the things that I want to make sure that we do is that we go over what we've learned so far about the verbs that we have already in our repertoire. And those are the verbs être, which means to be, avoir, which means to have, aller, which means to go. And then we have all our ER verbs, which is really important. Now, there are a ton of ER verbs, a gazillion of them. There's tons of them. But the good thing is that there are fewer of these new IR verbs, okay? And we're going to be talking a little bit about these with regards to going to the cafe and ordering food and things like that. So I hope you watch. I hope you enjoy. And if you don't, tough. You still got to. I'm just kidding. And I hope you're enjoying your snow day. So take just a little bit of time, watch this video, and we'll get started. Have a good one. See you in a bit. All right, guys, I'm back. Woohoo! Okay, we're going to be talking about regular IR verbs, and this is on page 134 in your book. So take some time to look at it. I have created for you a document, and it will be emailed to you. You can either print it out, or you could just copy the format and write it down however you'd like. But this is the document that I have for you right here. Chapter 4B.2 notes. Okay, so this is the second half of chapter 4. B. So here's my first question for you. Just as a review, how do we work through our ER verbs? What are our two steps? You should know them because they're really awesome steps that we came up with in class. But what are those two steps? Those two steps are number one, what? I believe Nick Mills says it a little bit different, and then Taylor says it a little bit different, and everybody says it a little different. But basically, the basic endings are drop it like it's hot. Drop those endings. So the first thing I want to do is drop the ending like it's hot. Okay, so that's my first step for ER verbs. I'm dropping that ending and I'm getting rid of it, okay? Don't need it anymore, okay? Because when it's in its infinitive form and it is an infinitive verb saying, for instance, we could use the verb to like, aimer, it's not doing anything. It's being lazy. So we're going to drop that ending and assign it to somebody. And in order for us to do that, we're going to add our endings. That's our second step. To add our endings. So let's take a moment and let's look at the verb to like, which is aimer, to like. How am I going to go about conjugating aimer with the pronoun or the subject je? What does je mean? Je means I. So I like, or I do like, or I am liking is going to be J apostrophe A-I-M-E. J'aime. Right? Because I've dropped my ER here. I've dropped my ER, and all I'm going to do is add my ending. And my ending here is going to be E. To will be A-I-M. And then my ending will be ES. Right? Good? Il, elle, and on is A-I-M. That's my stem because I've dropped it like it's hot. And now I'm just going to add an E because that's my ending. So the endings for our singular side is E, E-S, and E. E, E-S, and E. Done. Finished. Absolutely done. Now, we'll go over to the new form, and we've got our stem, A-I-M, and then we're going to add our endings. Nous aimons. Okay, nous aimons. Vous aimez. What is our all the time? It's going to be the ending for our vous form. It's going to be E-Z. Done. Vous aimez, always. And then for il and elle plural, we've got A-I-M. And then our ending is ENT. And that's something that's indicative of all of those il and el plurals. You're going to have that NT at the end of it, okay? All right, so now we're being introduced to our next group of verbs, and these verbs are fewer than ER verbs, so there's fewer of them, which is great for us, but they follow the same steps, okay? So the steps are the same. We're dropping it like it's hot, we're adding our ending, but because our verbs now end in IR, our endings are different. Okay, and so we're going to go over that a little bit here in just a minute. All right, so the verb finir, this is the perfect verb to go through so that you can really grasp the concept here. And the verb finir means in French to finish. Done, okay? Finir. All right, now I'm going to put these in bold, caps lock for our je subject. I finish, I do finish, I am finishing. It will be F-I-N. I'm going to drop my I-R, and then I'm going to add my ending, which is I-S. Je finis. Tu, F-I-N, I-S, finis. So je finis, tu finis. Do you see a pattern here? J'aime, tu aimes. They all sound the same. J'aime, tu aimes, il aime. They all sound the same. Je finis, tu finis, il, elle, and on, F-I-N, and then my ending is I-T. Je finis, tu finis, il finit. Now we get over to the fun part. Okay? It gets a little bit complicated, but it's kind of fun. Okay? In the end, our stem stays the same. F-E-N, done and done. Okay? But now our ending in the new form for IR verbs is I-S-S-O-N-S. Are you losing your mind right now? I can understand. It's okay. Nous finissons. Nous finissons. So these are our endings for IR verbs in the new form is finissons. Okay? Vous. Same thing. We've got our stem, which is F-I-N, because we've dropped it like it's hot, right? Now we're just adding our endings. And the ending for this one, if you can guess, see if you can guess what it is. I-S-S-E-Z. I-S-S-E-Z. So vous finissez. And then finally, with il and el plural, it's fairly easy. It is F-I-N, that's our base. We know it's our stem. And then we have I-S-S, you guessed it, E-N-T. Okay? All right, so here we go. Je finis. Tu finis, il, elle, and on finit, nous finissons, vous finissez, and il and elle finissent. Okay, so that's done. All right, so those are our endings for finir and for all the IR, regular IR verbs. Now, you know how it works. There's always going to be some irregular ones here and there, and we'll get to those at some point, but now's not the time. So, let's talk about some verbs that follow the same pattern for IR verbs, and we can look at that on page 134. Okay, if I pull the screen down just a smidge, je finis mon sandwich avant tout le monde. I'm finishing my sandwich before everyone else. And then Alan et Chloe finissent leur déjeuner. Alan and Chloe are finishing their lunch. Okay? Here are the rest of those other IR verbs. Choisir, to choose. Grandir, to grow, grossir, to gain weight, maigrir, to lose weight, obéir, or obéir à, okay, we'll talk about that in just a minute, is to obey, réagir, to react, réfléchir, or réfléchir à, is to think about or to reflect on. You see that réfléchir looks kind of like reflect, okay? Réussir is to succeed in doing something. So, je réussis à créer cette vidéo. I am succeeding in creating this video, right? Rougir, to blush. What is the word for red in French? Rouge. So, rougir, to blush, to turn red. And then vieillir is to grow old. Okay, I have one more I'm going to add to that, and that's on your Quizlet that you are supposed to look at super soon. It's on RenWeb as well, but I'll pull it up in just a minute, and that is désobéir. Désobéir, and you can guess that that means to disobey. What do we not want to do? We want to obey God, not to disobey Him, right? That's the big trial, right? Always obey God. Okay, so new grocery